Baby, could you? I got too much on my mind right now. I ain't got
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, at Heinz Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New York Giants and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now Saquon Barkley, a man who played collegiately here in the Keystone State. Even with the nice move, can't go very far. Stopped short of the 30. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39. No. Check. Patriot. Over.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. This will go for 5 up to the 33.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lalo. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it looks like Steeler football. It is.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect
him. No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Following the fumble recovery, Johnston. This is caught. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. In for the score. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead.
When we drop defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And the magnitude of this game, everybody knows it. The fans, obviously the players and coaches, there's just with them a palpable buzz right now. They know they control their own destiny.
Win, and you're in. And I think every player wants that. I think every coach wants that. I haven't been an organization yet that wants to be in a game where they have to rely on other teams to get them to their goals. In this situation, it's very cut and dry. Win, and you're in the playoffs. That's their mission. That's their challenge. And you know they've chosen to accept it.
And what they told us is this has been the most focused week of practice we've had all year. You wouldn't expect any different.
Yeah, and you know, at the beginning of the season, you have multiple goals. They just have one now. Win the game.
It's Barkley on the counter. And he'll get this one up to the 26. T.J. Watt in on the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Throwing on third down, Lauletta. They'll let it go deep for Beckham. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. A big gain of 39 on third.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
No, check, Patriot! Leopard! All right, now, lucky 56!
Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A first down carry for Barkley. Space to run past the 20. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on.
And he takes it into the end zone for a giant TD. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Giants are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Rosas good with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the Steelers set to take the field. Even though they might not find the number 1 seed next to their name come playoff time, there's not going to be very many teams, if any, entering the playoffs on the kind of run they're on. They're hot.
And I love that word, hot, because every team in the league wants to go into the playoffs on that uptick. Because a lot of the time you serve notice to the rest of the league that, hey, we're the team you need to deal with. We're the team that's going to be a real problem for you. And if they can continue this streak, they could very well be that team and gain that confidence that they're seeking as they head to the playoffs.
And confidence, that's the word I would use from our meetings with them. They said we're playing our best football right now. It is showing. They go play action here on first down. He's going to wind up and air it out. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And, a little spin cycle. Room to run now. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one good for 33 and a first.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him. But don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
Where they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
Yeah, nobody leaked. Big play. And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Wide open receiver, complete. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
A first opportunity for the Steelers in the red zone. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And who's got it? The Giants. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't it?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Lauletta to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
I'm laughing to myself because I could just hear in film session, but Coach, I was throwing to Odell Beckham Jr. Of course I thought he was open.
They'd love to go deep downfield to him, though. Such a threat.
Yeah, a rare incompletion because most of the time we expect him to actually come up with the catch.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. And he's got a moonwalk and able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one will go down as 33 yards on the 3rd down conversion. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Lauletta. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 28, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. Anunwa, the intended target. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals, and if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
A handoff to Barkley. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Detroit!
Lauletta looking to throw on 2nd down. Open man right side is Ingram. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 at a first down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. Now Lauletta on 1st down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Artie Burns. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Steps away to his left. And he's able to get up here to the 26. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Johnston. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Mario Edwards. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turned it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Here's a give to Barkley. And space opens a bit as he gets it across the 15 to the 17-yard line. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves him with 3rd and just a couple. Third and 2, Lauletta. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. And on the ground they go with a running back. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy, let him pick up the 1st down.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Lucky 56.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Johnston. And oh, not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
On 3rd down, Johnston flush to him, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Mario Edwards in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they left little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride. When they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean, they want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
New York set to take the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, have your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. The linebacker Ryan Shazier there to make the tackle. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. Foul Saquon Barkley. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
The Giants on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. The shotgun snap to Lauletta. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 33. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown. Picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
Now a play fake here on first down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it's a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now a handoff looking right. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great play there, hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. It's good to make it 17-7. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. He's at the 30. 10. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Evan Ingram, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Giants strike quickly here for 6 points. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he will make his way back to where he started from, and that's all, as we will make our way to the 2-minute warning. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. Back to Heinz Field after this.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
To throw on second down. Johnston. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. From the gun, Johnston being chased out left. Throw left side complete. That's Stevens. That goes for a gain of 31.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Watch it now, Barney.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And New York set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. Barkley. And he'll power his way up near the 25. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. Clock rolling as the Giants will hurry to the line. Now here's Lawletta. He finds Beckham complete. A big play there just before halftime. 45 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run with Barkley. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This will be spotted at the 37, so it's a 47-yard attempt. And the kick by Rosas is good. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you. Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And the Steelers on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 3. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Dancing to his left. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
Now that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3-and-out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a first down.
Off play action. Johnston eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before? Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now it's Barkley. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 7 on the ground, but they'll be faced with 3rd and long.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Out of the gun, Loletta. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Quincy Enunwa, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Giants have broken our tie as they take the lead. PAT up and good by Rosas. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Rosas now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Johnston. Flushed out right. And it's incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Flex round.
And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. And the Steelers on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
Flex round. Flex round.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He may try and run for this. And he slides to avoid the hit. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did
trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. Then he will take it across midfield and down to the 45.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll try and get this run game going. This is Barkley. And he's going to be met at about the 43. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
They'll go to Barkley again. It's a gain of 6, moves them to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney. Leopard. Leopard.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
Well, he was stopped on that play. He's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense.
They got his man complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Now, that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Operating from the gun, Johnston over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. From the gun, Johnston. That's brought in by Davis over the middle. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
To throw again, Johnston. Buying time, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Johnston. He's going deep for Brown. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They begin with a run by Barkley. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll run it again with Barkley. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Walletta now to throw it. And Ingram hauls it in. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. He has a 1st down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. This quarterback now nearing the 300-yard mark with still a quarter to play. It's 1st and 10. The pitch goes to Barkley. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And 3rd quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of...
Again, it's Barkley. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Here's Walletta. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On the run, it's Barkley. Finding room to the 20. Touchdown, Giants! Saquon Barkley, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Giants add on to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. The bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Rosas now to kick this one away. On the return, it's Washington. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. James Washington, 99 yards. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
You've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
This is Barkley. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Detroit! Detroit! Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
The Giants on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This time it's 3rd and 3. From the gun, here's Lauletta. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion, and defensively pure frustration. clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Running left, it's Barkley. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Stephon Tuitt, the one that got him down.
This has been an up-and-down, back-and-forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive, take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
All right, here we go. 319. 319.
Lauletta, he'll look to throw. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And a nice gain at 21 yards. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
And they'll run it here. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
You got him! You got him! You got him!
Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Saquon Barkley running right. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. The Giants on 3rd down. They've converted 7 times and could use another right now. This is 3rd and 4. Lauletta. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Back to throw. Johnston. Over the middle, complete. That's 4. And they work this out past the 25. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. Off the play fake. Johnston. He's going to let it fly. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to the air on second down. Johnston. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. Tried to go for the big one there on second down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Looking to throw. Johnston. A hit as he throws there. Incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Giants are close to finishing off this football game. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the Giants, the win won't get them to 500, but they will finish on a high note at 7-9. And by just about all accounts, not the type of year they were hoping to have. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, despite the loss here, they're going to wind up with a very good 11-5 overall mark. And they'll get their shot at playoff football as they'll be on the road next week as a wild card. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.